Hello again, and welcome back to another episode with me, Pamela Clark, and my husband, Kerry Clark.
Hello, friends. I am so glad that you're viewing this episode.
All right, y'all. I can tell you that this episode is probably going to be one of Kerry's favorite, if not his favorite, where he gets to share with us information regarding altering your normal. Taking us to the next level. So, Kerry, you want to share a little bit about the upcoming episode with our folks?
Yeah, so the goal is, we talk about how when ordinary is no longer enough, and we talk about how that's not working today being normal. There has to be a way to take you, to help you get beyond normal. And so in this episode, we talk about 3 ways that happens, and I'm holding the book just to make sure I keep them in order. And the first one is to start over. You have to have a point where you just want to start over. 2, you want to reassess. So you want to go ahead and start reassessing everything. Start evaluating is what I like to say in that regard. Evaluate everything you do for normal so that you can look at it and alter it. And then the last part is learn it for yourself. There's no information that's good for any person until they decide this is for me. And so as you're listening to this next episode, kind of think about it in those terms. This information is for me.
All right, so we hope that you stay tuned, and we'll see you back on the other side.
All right, let's begin. Let's pick up where we left off with life's growth area. Number 1, our life. And I must throw this in as I bring this life growth area to an end. And it's 3 ways in which you can alter normal. So I have 3 ways I want to give you that'll take you from a normal existence to an extraordinary existence. One that'll change what's common to what's uncommon, what's natural to something beyond natural, to what's not excellent to excellence. And let's begin. Here's the thought. Being common is first taught in the home. That's number 1. We pick up the things that make us normal from our home and in our environments. And I'm afraid you'll soon find that the home is not right, it's wrong. In that your home will create something in you or teach you to withhold your gift. It'll restrict you. It's almost like a prison. I call it the prison of normal. That's what home will do to you if you allow it. There are some homes that'll push you beyond normal, yet for some reason we resist that and we'll go back to what's normal, what's common. Our environments, our friends, keep us in a group so that we can be the average of that group. There are things that happen to us in our home environment that'll keep us from going down what I call the right path to being all that you were created to be, which is right. You want to feel right? Then leave the pack. Leave what's natural, what's normal, what's ordinary behind, and find that thing that's in you, that gift, that talent that's unlike anyone else, so that you can become unlike anyone else. Here we go. Here's how we can change. Number 1, you have to sometimes start over. I learned this many, many years ago. It's been over a decade now that in life, sometimes you just have to have a start over. You can't pick up where you left off because that's not going to work. Sometimes you just have to erase every page in your journal, clear the book out, and in fact, sometimes you just have to throw your old journals away and start with a new one. And say, I'm going to do everything going forward differently. I'm going to start over. And when you start over, that means you're going to clean some things out. It's kind of like if you want a fresh refrigerator. You got to rip all the old food out. You got to take everything out, all the shelves. You clean that whole thing out. And guess what? You start over. You fill it again. You want a new eating habits. Clear out the pantry. Take everything off the shelves, throw it all away, and start shopping over again. Give yourself a new outlook on what's on there. Label the shelves, what you want to see in it. Come up with a new idea. Start over. If you want to do anything worthwhile, sometimes you just have to start over. If you started writing a book and didn't finish it, sometimes you just have to start over. If you had an education that failed, it's okay, start over. If there was a race you were in and you didn't like the outcome, hey, start that exercise, that preparation all over again. Just start over. If the season didn't turn out like you wanted it to, you gotta figure out a way to start over. Number 2, reassessing. I call this the act to reassess. Reassess everything. Don't assume anything. I remember when I had a start over moment in my life, I had to reassess my view of the Bible. See, I'm one who studies the Bible. The Bible has everything that you need in it for life, for success, for happiness, for financial freedom, for love and relationships, for all the 5 life areas of growth that we cover in this material. It has all of it in it. So I had to reassess even how I viewed the scriptures. I had to learn to read the Bible again because I've read it so many times through the eyes of what others taught me that I missed the lessons and the teachings and the information that God was saying to me through His Word. Sometimes you just reevaluate, reassess the things that you're doing. You go in your job, reassess it. Reassess the thought that they're taking something from you, replace it with what it's making of you. How can this job promote me? How can it make me better? If you're building a career, sometimes you have to reassess the career. Am I in the right role? Sometimes you reassess it and figure out, well, I'm not in the right place, and so now I got to figure out how to get in a different place, a different location. Maybe you have to reassess where you live, the location. Reassess, do an assessment, do a self-evaluation, do a self-check. Get you a checklist out and say, I need to evaluate these areas of my life, reassess them. And lastly, number 3, you have to learn for yourself. That was a tough one for me. Many times I figured out I was learning for someone else. I took what other people taught me and thought that's something I needed to know. There are some things that people teach you that really does not help you get to where you need to be. Let me say it this way. There's some learning you got to do on your own. If you have a talent that you need to improve, grades 1st through 12 may not be able to help you with that talent. I know there are some skilled musicians, and if I remember correctly, we only had a few music classes that happened in our elementary classes. But beyond that, there was no help. So you have to do some self-learning. You have to get in the classroom called self. You have to turn your vehicle. You have to turn into an institution of higher education. You have to turn your home, one of your rooms, into a study room, a study library, or a place of learning. You have to get in front of a computer and search the internet. You have to do some learning for yourself. When I realized that I had this talent, I had to reread the Bible, and I had to see it with a new eye, a new lens, the lens that I've been trained to see things with, the glasses that I wear. I had to see everything in the Bible with this message of being uncommon, like no one else, no longer common. This message that says when ordinary is no longer enough. I had to see it from that lens. And let me leave you with this thought. Common acceptance has led to common existence. I think it was Jim Rohn. Maybe it was, it could have been Creflo Dollar, possibly Miles Monroe or John Maxwell. Really doesn't matter. And the saying is something to this effect: whatever you tolerate, you won't change. Think about it. Whatever you accept, you'll continue to live with. I think it was Jim Rohn that said you have to hate some things. When you hate it, you'll change it. When you get a hate for something, you'll work your best at rearranging it, changing it. You got to learn to hate ordinary, natural, common, so that you can do these three things: start over, reevaluate, and learn for yourself.
Welcome back to the other side of altering normal. We hope you guys enjoyed that episode. It is indeed one of Kerry's favorites, sharing how we can overcome being normal. Kerry, any out remarks for our people?
Well, altering normal is the basis of what we're talking about, because we don't want you to leave here, this episode or podcast, from being in our presence or around us the same way that you came in. Pamela and I have this, I don't know if it's a motto or even we use it in prayer all the time. We say that when people come into our presence, we want them to leave better than when they came. The same is true for you guys that are watching this. You're not average, you're not common, you're not ordinary. So anytime someone comes into your life, they're going to leave better off. And so the more that you can alter your normal existence to something more, something greater, the more you have the ability to change the lives of the people around you.
Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time here at KerryAClark.com on any of our social media platforms, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
As always, thank you for visiting with us and going on this journey with us. Please share this with your friends, your families, your co-workers, anyone that you know, and please subscribe. That helps us out a whole bunch. We appreciate you for watching. Thanks.
Very good. Well, thank you again, y'all, for joining us here. Excuse me.
That might make the blooper reel.